What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your boy Shades. Coming at you with the new movie review. And I want to talk about this Halle Berry movie, Kidnap. I guess before I get into that, today I actually got a text message. Won't get into details out of respect, but a text message from a very special person from my past that has actually made me see exactly where I might want to go, the things I want to do maybe with this channel, and just for some reason I'm just very inspired. Funny, very funny, but either way, I'm probably being very elusive right now, right? I'm only supposed to be doing that when I do magic, right? But you know who you are, that person. Thank you. So, Kidnap, starring Halle Berry. And I gotta say, I'm only mentioning Halle Berry's name because I don't recognize one actor, anybody else in this movie. And if you all know me, you know that I know movies and actors pretty much like the back of my hand. But I gotta admit, not that that was a bad thing. I'm just pointing out that it's just Halle Berry pretty much is the only star in the movie. Her foes in the movie were definitely good actors, but the heck if I've ever seen them before. Anybody in the movie. I really didn't recognize anybody, which is kind of a rarity for me. I usually recognize everybody, and I think if Tony T were here, he would probably agree with that. But I have to say, I wasn't bored by the movie. There may have been one or two scenes that might have been a little far-fetched, but then again, as a parent, you start to think, my God, the worst things can happen. Well, quick synopsis. Halle Berry is a single mother who I believe is in the middle of a divorce, but they had a child together, and you're able to see the close relationship between her and her son right away. She's definitely an on-hands mother and someone who works very hard. So that's all clear right away. And I think she might be having problems with the husband as far as maybe, well, soon to be ex-husband that might want custody of the child. But they never really get too much. They do dab into that, but not too much. But I'm sure you know about the previews, so there's no spoiler alerts here. The child does get kidnapped. And I gotta admit, I give it to Halle Berry. This movie fits Halle Berry. Movies like this, and when she's being sexy and seductive, like in the movie Swordfish with John Travolta and Hugh Jackman, those roles are her. So either being sexy and seductive or playing a loving mother, those roles fit her. But I'm not gonna say every role does. I know Catwoman was not one of her better movies, but it's not to say that I didn't like her. I mean, yeah, obviously she's beautiful, but I didn't think she did a bad acting job. It was just a bad film, a bad script. That's all that was. It had nothing to do with her and her acting or anything like that. I will say I'm definitely a role that's not for her is playing Storm in X-Men. You can disagree with me, or you can agree with me, whatever. But, no, she's definitely the best looking Storm I've ever seen. But as far as acting like Storm, I mean, Storm in the comic books and in the cartoons had a way of talking, and she didn't fit it. She wasn't, Storm was not a god, but she acted almost like a god. She had a very, how would you say, mystical way of talking. She's the kind that would point at you and say, "Storm, mistress of the elements, commands you to release that child," you know. That's the way Storm talked. And Halle Berry didn't fit any of those. Other than looking beautiful, she definitely was not a Storm. And another thing, too, you ever notice she'd have to be near half dead before she finally used her powers to defend herself? But I'm going off on tangents. That's just me. Sorry. Yeah. Aside from, so let me get away from that and just point out that Halle Berry was definitely really good in this movie. Once again, the child gets kidnapped, and she, like I think any parent would, is lucky enough though to at least get a glimpse of where he's going and who might be taking him, and she's just on it. But everything from that moment that could go wrong possibly just goes wrong, and I won't say what that is. I won't say what happens at the end, but it's very interesting. And once again, don't recognize anybody in this movie. Once again, that's not to take away from their performance. The people in this movie were definitely good actors. You know, nobodies, but actors. It's action, not kicking butt action. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of kicking butt, but action in a more realistic manner. You know, and you know, I think you have to be a parent to understand that the movie did capture me as far as like, man, when it comes to the subject of our children, it's a very touchy subject. And yeah, it's one thing to hear about the kidnap, but this movie presents it and presents how she's feeling when she just seeing your child being taken off, and you know all the things that could go wrong. I mean, as a parent, you lose your mind, and you got to keep it together. And Halle Berry does a very good job of walking that line of basically losing her mind, but at the same time keeping that motivation of I got to get my son back, you know. And no, she pulls it off, and she's still very incredibly beautiful. That woman doesn't age. For some reason, she just, I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit, and you know, but she's still hot. She's still my future wife. So all you guys, put it back in your pants. All right, put it back in your pants. Just kidding, guys and gals. You know, whatever. It's cool. Whatever you like. But I'm going off on tangents. Of course, my best rating would be 5 stars. Like I said, I did mention there would seem like maybe a scene or two that might have been a little far-fetched, but not enough to make me give this a movie a bad rating. It's had a lot of good qualities to it. Cinematography, acting, all top-notch. And I think you'll walk away happy with this movie. I think almost any audience could probably see it. As much as kids probably... there's no nasty in it. I mean, it's definitely a thriller. There's no gross stuff going on in the movie or anything like that. But in some ways, I think it's okay for kids to see this because it'll teach them, hey, you know, don't trust anybody. You know, there are crazy people out there and you could get kidnapped and stuff like that. So I think that there's a lesson for both children and adults in this movie. So I'm going to give this movie 4.5. 4.5 stars, which is a good solid rating. Pretty good rating, yeah. And that's it, guys. Don't definitely want to make this video too long. I will be talking about the next one is hopefully today or tomorrow. Annabelle Creation. Definitely got to talk about that one. I was going to see that one today, but then a few different things happened, so I decided to go see the Halle Berry one. Actually, I think I saw that one yesterday. I should have did a video. Sorry, guys. But either way, saluting you today and every day. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye.